Well, hello, everyone. It is Dr. Brandy B, and it is the Friday before Mother's Day. Come on in, everybody. Come on in. Grab a friend and come on in. Let everybody know that we are over here at Dr. Brandy B, and we are about to celebrate mothers. Y'all know mothers are something special. If you have a mother, you ought to celebrate a mother. If you were a mother or are a mother, you ought to celebrate mothers. And if you aspire to be a mother, you ought to celebrate mothers. Somebody said, I don't want to birth any child, but guess what? You can still be a mother. Mothering is a verb, right? It's not a noun. And so if you are in touch with other people, inspiring them, encouraging them, challenging them, praying for them, motivating them to be better, then guess what? By golly, you are a nurse. So a nurse, honey. I got nurses on my mind too, but you are a mother. Nurses, mothers have to do that too, right? We're a little bit of everything. So come on in today. We are celebrating mothers, and I am so glad that y'all are here with me. Let me go ahead and get everything set up. I'm going to pin this post so that when people come over, they can see exactly what is going on. And we are celebrating mothers today. We are celebrating mothers today. I am so excited to be here. Are y'all excited to be here? Because I certainly am excited to be here. It is Mother's Day weekend. One of the most probably underappreciated jobs that there is, but one of the most important ones, period, for anybody to have. And so we are excited that you are here with me celebrating mothers. Yes. All right, let me go and look over here, get everything set up, and then we're going to go ahead and get started. Y'all know I love a celebration. Do y'all love a celebration out there? Let me know who you are if you are here with me, because we want to celebrate you. Yes. We are celebrating mothers. Go ahead and share the post as well. And let some other folks know they need to be here. All right. Who is here? Mama is here. She says, hello, Brandy B. I say hello. My mama can get away with that. She just calls me Brandy. And that is all right. Auntie Eva says, hello, my beautiful niece. Hello. Right back to you, Auntie Eva. Is there anyone else watching? Anyone else watching with us? Make sure you're tagging all your friends. You know, the ones that usually come, but they might be running a little bit late. They thought I wasn't coming, so they didn't show up. But tell them that she is here and she is celebrating mothers. Y'all know that motherhood is super important. And without our own mothers or someone who served in a motherly role, we would not be who and where we are right now. So we certainly want to celebrate mothers. I've shared the video. I will ask that you do too. Make sure that some people know that we are over here. I see that 6 people are watching. They aren't saying anything. Come on, y'all know. Let me know that you're here, because the more I know that you're here, the more excited I get. All right, Miss Dina Maxwell Stafford is watching. We thank you for watching and for joining us today. It's going to be a beautiful day. Hopefully, wherever you are, the sun is shining, and it is a good day as well. Miss Melanie Long is watching. Hello. Well, let me go ahead and get started. I'm Dr. Brandy B, your triple board certified pediatrician, adult psychiatrist, as well as child and adolescent psychiatrist. And through my Facebook live stream, Focus on It Friday, my book, Shine, Understanding ADHD So Your Child Can Be a Star, my speaking engagements, which are happening in all sorts of education sectors, business sectors, church sectors, and wherever else. I am helping to educate moms, of course, dads, grandparents, and anyone else who feels that they need whatever it is that their child needs. They need help with that to get them to where they need to be. And I thank you all for joining me on this beautiful Friday at noon Central Time. We've got Miss Ashley Jessie Grove. She's waving. Hello right back to you. We've got Miss Belinda Jones. She says, hello, Dr. Brandy B. And I say, hello to you. That's one of our faithful viewers. And we've got Miss Betty Gibbs Burt. So today, guys, we're talking about mothers. Mother's Day, in case you missed it, it snuck up on me, so it probably snuck up on you. You better go ahead and drop some reminders right now to your kids, to your spouse, to anybody else, your grandkids, anybody that you want to know. Hello, Sunday is Mother's Day, and we want to just take just a few moments to talk about motherhood, but just not from the standpoint of any old mother. I'm talking about the mother of a child with ADHD. I'm talking about the mother of a child with a special need. I'm talking about the mother of a child, period, because it all works. It all works, and so that's what we want to talk about today. So y'all know I love acronyms, right? Y'all know that. So we're going to just talk about mothers. Mothers, the acronym mothers, MOTHERS, because that's who we are celebrating today. My mother's on the call. I'm going to say happy Mother's Day to you. So many who have mothered me, aunts, cousins, even who have taken me under their wings, and I appreciate all of them. So the first letter is M for motivator. Mothers are motivators. If you did not have a mother who said to you, you can do it, keep going, it's possible, it might be hard, don't give up, hang in there, here's $1, get a snack, here's a smile, here's a hug, you can do it, I see you, keep going, don't give up. That is what mothers do. We motivate, right? And here's the deal about being a mother. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter how old your child is. As long as both of you all are alive, there is an opportunity to mother. Mothering my 3-year-old is different from mothering my 5-year-old, is different from mothering my 7-year-old. And I imagine that when they're 77 and I'm 127, it will still be the same. There's going to be something that they can learn in some way that I can motivate them. So motherhood is about motivating, right? And like I said, if you've got a child with ADHD, it's going to get tough. It is going to get tough because at some point they may say, Mama, I'm not smart enough. I'm not good enough. I can't focus enough. I don't get it like the other kids do. I run out of time. I don't see what they're seeing. How did they see it? And you got to tell them, keep going. Don't give up. You've got to motivate them. The O in mothers is going to be for observant. Now, if you are first of all, any mothers, okay, any mother, you got to be watching these kids. You know that you cannot have these kids just roaming around without any supervision. You've got to observe them. And as my mother would often say, it's not you that I don't trust, baby. I don't trust the people that you may encounter. So you've got to observe them because guess what? People can come up on you real quick. I was in the grocery store. I was a little girl, and the man, I had these big tails in my head, and the man said, are you a girl or a lady? And I said, I don't know, but ask my mama. And there she was, not very far away, observing. We've got to observe. We've got to keep an eye on our kids. That's what good mothers do. This is no surprise. This is no secret. Good mothers are observant. They're watching their kids. They're observing to see, are they growing properly? They're observing to see, are they functioning properly? They're observing to see if they are interacting with everyone else in a way that is acceptable, reasonable, and what is expected, okay? Now, when we're talking about parenting the child with ADHD, because y'all know I love to talk about that, the mother of a child with ADHD is observing to make sure that all the things that someone said we've got to watch out for if they're on medication, you got to observe to make sure that they're not having those side effects. You've got to observe to make sure that they are keeping up with their peers. Not that we compare them to their peers, but there are certain standards that we know that they should be able to meet, right? Such expectations and goals that they need to be able to meet. And so if we are not observing them, then we won't know. For instance, we know that medications can have side effects, right? And so if your child, for example, since this is a Mother's Day gift to y'all, because y'all know I don't talk about medicines over here. I know they're super scary to people. but they could decrease your appetite. And so if your child's appetite is decreased when their medicine is really working, but all of a sudden now they're eating so much they gained 60 pounds, you've got to be observant and know, something may not be right here, because when the medicine is really working, they don't eat 5 times a day. They just eat 3. But now they're eating 12 times. You got to be observant to know that something might be going on. So we've got to watch for our kids' moods, no matter who we are. I saw someone last night, and I just asked about sadness because that's what I do. And the mother says, I want you to just talk to this child about suicide, about depression in athletes. Well, this child didn't fit the mold, but that mama was being observant of what's going on in the world, because guess what? Social media requires that we observe what's going on with our kids, because guess what? At a certain age, parents are not cool. And apparently we lose all of our smarts too. But our friends, they still know more than our parents. So we've got to observe who those parents are, who those friends are, that our kids are hanging with. Because guess what? They're smarter than you are, Mom. They're smarter than you are, Dad. At least our kids think so. So we got to make sure who those people are. We've got to be observant. So a good mother is a motivator. A good mother is observant. We've had some people to come in. Karen Denise Jackson, all the way from Albany, says Happy Mother's Day to you. And to you, my dear sweet cousin. I saw your handwriting come in on the mail yesterday, and it looks just like Auntie Louise's. I was just so tickled pink. So Happy Mother's Day to you. Our mother says, thank you, Dr. Brandy B. Absolutely. We thank you for life. Mr. Jeremy and Miss Dia Hubbard say Happy Mother's Day, and the same to you, my fabulous friend. Mama says Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers watching. And Miss Vicky Boland is coming in saying hello. All right, so we are celebrating mothers. Mothers. We've got Miss Michelle Combs Mitchell saying Happy Mother's Day, and the same to you. Latoya D says Happy Mother's Day, and I say it right back to you all. And remember, when I opened up, I said, hey, you do not have to have birthed a child to be a mother. You do not have to have adopted a child to be a mother. You don't have to be fostering a child to be a mother. Just that calm word, that cool word, that settling word that you say to some child as you pass them by, the mentorship, all of that is mothering. And we thank each of you for being mothers, and we wish you a happy Mother's Day. We've got Heather Starnes, Happy Mother's Day to you. Annie Clapton, thanks, and same to you all. We've got Miss Jessamine Wood Smith. She says, hey, Dr. Brandy B. Hello, hello, hello. All right, so we're talking about properties of good mothers. The first one is a motivator. The second one is observant. All right. All good mothers do that. But you, especially if you got a child with ADHD, you got to be watching out for that. Now, the third thing is a teacher. You know, we send our kids off to school. And guys, look, the pandemic started when our oldest was in kindergarten. So we missed out on, you know, the year had come to an end almost. And I really just, the pandemic started the year before. So our oldest was in pre-K. He went into the school March or April of what was his kindergarten year. So I did not fully understand what all it meant to go to school, right? But quickly, I knew what it was like to be a teacher. Now, before I would decide I wanted to be a doctor, I wanted to be a teacher. My grandmother, my aunts, so many people that I really looked up to were teachers, and that was what I thought I would do. But let me tell you something. Until that child is here with you all day, and you are trying to be mama, teacher, doctor, cook, well, y'all know I don't cook, but you're trying to do all of that, it's a lot. But I want you to know this. Besides the fact of what we had to do during the pandemic while our children were at home with us learning, you teach that child everything that they need to know, honestly, before they ever go to school. You are that child's first teacher. The things you teach them about love, the things that you show them about love, likewise, the things that you show them and teach them about hate, the things that you teach them about perseverance, the things that you teach them about what's right and wrong. These are all things that a good mother does to teach her children. The things about, like I said, right and wrong, you are that child's teacher before they ever go to a formal setting for education. When you're talking to them and they're in the womb, you were already teaching them. You were singing songs to them. You were reading to them. You were setting them up for what it was that you wanted them to be. So you are indeed that child's teacher. Morals, you teach them. Ethics, you teach them. Math, you teach them. Mess around and have another child. They learned about math. Now we got a +1, maybe a +2, sometimes even a +3 or more. So you're going to teach them about subtraction, deaths, when loved ones die and leave us. You're going to teach them about multiplication, how if they keep working, they can go from having $1 to more dollars, and how if they save a little bit, they'll go from 1 to getting some interest. So you are that child's teacher, regardless of who the child is, what the child has going on. You are their most important teacher. And one of the things that you will teach them about the most is love, going into our H, which is heart. Now, if we think about the letters in mothers, right dead in the middle is H, which is for heart, which represents love. Mother's love. Mother's love. We listen, we care for, we support victories. We do whatever it is that we need to do to make sure that our children know that they are loved. Sometimes some parents say, I had to tell a little fib because they didn't even know that, such and such was going on. And we had to just let them know that that was not anything that they needed to worry about. Why? Because we love. Mothers love no matter what. And we love our children no matter who they are. Now, sometimes we might pray some stuff away, wish it would go away, but a mother's love is unconditional. A mother's love is honest. A mother's love is accepting, not of the child. And y'all know I always say, parent the child that you got and not the one you prayed for or hoped for. Because while you are hoping and wishing things away, you can miss out on the best opportunity that there is, and that is to love the child that you got. The child that you have is absolutely unique and set aside just for them. Nobody else on the planet was good enough to be their mother but you. And that's why you got that child. So love that child no matter what. Give that child whatever they need. Individualize the care that that child needs, because I tell you, if your children are like mine, they are all unique and individual. So no matter what is going on with your child, whether it be ADHD, whether it be depression, whether it be bipolar, make sure that your child knows that you love them. And they could have no challenges. They still need to hear you love them. It's one thing to say, well, I know my mama loves me. But I tell you that I have adult friends who right now to this date still will say, my mother never told me that she loved me. And that's a very sad thing for me to hear, because my mother told me all the time. Everybody in my family, my Aunt Eva, who's on the call, she texted me last night in all caps, I love you. And do y'all know that after working from 7A to 10P to look at that message and just see that somebody loved me way across the country, that was just a beautiful thing. Make sure you're telling your children that you love them. But remember that love is really a verb, like mother, all right? So we've got to make sure that we're showing it and that our actions match our words. And don't just think that your girls need to hear it. Your boys need to hear, I love you too. Now, they may mumble, I love you too, mama. But they know that you love them, and that is really what matters. So mothers motivate, mothers observe, mothers teach, and mothers have hearts that love. Now, the E is mothers do everything. Are there any mothers out there that feel like you just do everything? I'm not talking about what's in reality, right? But are there any mothers out there that feel like you do everything? Let me just see you put me in the chat. Let me see it. Me, put your hand up. Do you feel like you do everything? As the mother, do you do everything? Do you mess around sometime and figure out if you are even mothering your spouse? Am I the only one out there? Y'all know, don't be ashamed. We won't tell your spouse that you over here saying you feel like you do everything. We won't tell them. Your secret is safe. But anybody out there feel like you do everything? And you know why do you feel that way? Because you do. That's what mothers do. We do everything. There's a phenomenon called a mental load. It's a mental load, okay? Now, y'all know my husband is amazing. I talk about him all the time. I really do. I love him to Reese's Pieces, okay? He gets the kids ready. He buys everybody's clothes. He washes. He folds. He puts away. He does all the cooking. I've cooked one time in almost 10 years. This month will be 10 years. I can tell him a color scheme for Easter, and he gets everybody's attire like he did this year. But I've still got to keep up with appointments. I've got to make sure the kids are registered. If I give them a task, I got to follow up on it. Do we know that the kids are registered? Because I don't want to wait until the beginning of August to find out that indeed he didn't press submit. He did everything but that. And, you know, I got to remind him we need milk. Now, he's going to go buy the milk, but he may not see when we get down to that last carton because we buy several at a time, right? He gets on to me because I buy toilet tissue like it's going out of style. The way people were buying toilet tissue when the pandemic began is what I've been doing all along, right? So I didn't have to worry. But he said, we don't need so much. But now I got to remember when it runs out, if I just get it every time I go into my favorite store, the Walmart, I don't have to try to figure out, are we getting low? Am I the only one? You got to worry about who's gas. Did somebody get their money for the field trip? Did somebody have a fever? Do they need Tylenol? Did we give them an albuterol treatment? Does the nurse know that this child has asthma? Does the nurse know that this child has allergies? And for real, this child has been swabbed 12 times for coronavirus and it's still allergies. Does anybody think about that? Let's see what y'all say. Erica says, happy Mother's Day. Wanda says, happy Mother's Day. Same to you all. Thank you for joining. Let me see what else y'all saying. Erica says, my beautiful says, hello, and right back to you, beautiful queen. Annie Clopton says, thanks and same to you all. Miss Jawanda Wallace, my new internet BFF, says, great Friday afternoon, and back to you. Now, Miss Michelle Combs Mitchell says, me. Erica got all the hands up. Mama says me. Jawanda says me. Tiffany says me. Auntie Eva says me. Candace Jones says me. My husband said he pressed submit, but Birmingham sister Skiddy school system is jacked up. Who knows? But Mama got to remember to follow up to make sure the babies are registered. Because guess what? He wouldn't have done it if I wouldn't have reminded him. Kiambra says, me. Miss Irma says, hello, Dr. Brady. Glad I caught your show. Sitting here with my grandmother before we laying her to rest Saturday. 94 years blessed. What a blessing. What a blessing indeed. And our condolences are with you. And we will definitely be praying for you on your loss to have to do that on this weekend. I'm sure, as would be any weekend, it's certainly not easy, but we just know that your Focus on It Friday family is praying with you, and we will be, praying for your family during this time. And she says, happy Mother's Day. Same to you, Sarah, same to you. Frederick says, they know not to mess with my boys. Listen, these people have rules. See what I'm saying? I got to now make sure that the babies are registered. I got to calm the daddy down. I got to do all of that. Because if he don't follow through and get the babies registered, now we standing outside and they looking sad. And we don't want that. So here's the point, y'all. Mamas have to do everything. We have to do everything. And that's okay, because that's what we do. We were built for this. We really were. When God said, let there be woman, we were built from that. Sissy made it today. Sis Keena Bailey says, hello, and happy Mother's Day to you, my sissy. We were built to be able to do everything, y'all. We really were. What all are we? We're the doctor. I mentioned albuterol and sinuses. We're the teacher. We've already talked about that. We're the social worker. We got to make sure that all the social skills. We're the speech therapist. Slow down and enunciate. We're the advocator. I talk to y'all a lot about advocating for your children, because I'm trapped in four walls, right? But I give you what you need so you can go out and advocate for your child. That's what we do. Somebody on here has lost a child, And so they may be mourning that loss, right? To some senseless gun violence. So they got to play detective. You know, what else are we? What else are we as mothers? I mean, I said doctor, teacher, social worker, advocate. What else are we? What else? We the mechanic. We the cook, the chef, the janitorial, environmental service staff. We got to pick up all of that stuff off the floor that they left. With a laundromat attendant, with a homework supervisor, with a prayer warrior. Oh my goodness, there is nothing that a mother can do that is more important than being a prayer warrior, right? We're our kids' first introduction to religious beliefs. I hinted on that. We teach them what's moral and right. We the lawyer, says Alicia Smith, welcome. She says, we're their best friends. And if you are not your child's friend, that's a dangerous setup, y'all, because they won't talk to you. People don't talk to people that aren't their friends. Even if it's just a Facebook friend or an associate, you got to feel a connection. And so if something has gone and gotten in between you and your child, please go make that right so that you all can move on. Jawanda says, you're the cheerleader. Kiamber says, say that. Absolutely, girl. We are everything, honey. That's what the E is for. And mother, we are everything. And if we got a mother here who hadn't figured it out, well, keep on living, honey. But I'm glad that you got a lot of good help. Jawanda says, we hear a lot of titles, but it's beautiful watching our babies grow and glow. Absolutely. Let me tell you, my mother says that her mother told her when I was born, you have nothing to do but to raise that girl. Nothing to do but raise that girl. And I think my mama took that to heart. And that's what I do. Now, I have a whole lot more to do. But at the top of the things that I do is raising my own children. And that's why last night I was at the ball field seeing patients in the car. But when it was time for my child to bed, guess what? I put that patient on hold and I stood there and cheered like all the rest of them, because that's important to me to know that I can get to my kids' events. Now, maybe at this point in your life, that's not what you can do. But remember, our children still know that we love them by so many different ways. And making those moments that we do have with them count is so important. Let's see what else we got. Auntie Julia says, hoping everyone has an amazing Mother's Day. So deserving of it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see what else we got. Oh, Auntie Julia says, wardrobe consultant. Auntie Julia, I still call on my mama. What you think about this? Makeup artist. My mama was my first makeup artist, okay? There was no getting in nobody to do your face back when I was going to dance school and get ready for a recital. Honey, when my mama did my face, you couldn't tell me nothing, because my mama could show enough do a face and tell you, I just get that, what you call that stuff right here? That, I can't even think of it. Go along that cheek bone right there. My mama could show enough do that. Makeup artist. Everything, says Miss Vakita Mason. Miss Catrice says, hello, 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 and welcome. Miss Sherry Childers just sums it up. She says, what aren't we? What aren't we? Good Lord, my God. We are everything. And that's what the E is for. Kay Amber says, we are super moms. Blush. That's it, girl. Blush. Blush. Mama said blush. Yes, mama could get that blush just so. Honey, she would have me together. Now we paying people upwards of $100 to do our face when we had a mama who did it first. Ain't that something? That is something. So mothers are everything. So to recap, the M is for motivator. The O is for observant. The T, teachers. The H, they have heart. They love. Mothers are everything. And that is why, Kiamber says, super moms. That is why mothers, good mothers, are rested. I know what you think. That don't even go together. You just named off $2,500 like a Jamaican. And then you say rest behind that? But here's the thing. Good mothers have to rest, right? Good mothers have to rest. Now, if a good mother doesn't rest, she gets burned out just like any other worker does, right? Because motherhood is a job. It's a job, y'all. It's a job. And your pay comes in the type of citizen and human being that you produce. And so we have to rest. We have to take days off. Now, the tricky thing about motherhood is that you don't get a package. You don't get a benefits package. You have to, as a mother, say to your family, this is my time. When I first get home, I need 10 minutes in the garage. Don't come out there. Yes, I'm out there, but don't come out there. I'm all right. I need this time between me and traffic and you and my patients, my clients. I need these few 10 moments. I need a vacation with my girls. I need a vacation with myself. I need to go to the hotel. I'm going to spend the night. I'm good. Ain't nobody coming with me. It ain't no rendezvous. It's just me getting some rest. Or you might say to yourself, I'm going to go to bed every night by 10, 10:30, 11. Or you might say, I'm going to go get my hair done, my nails done, and I'm not taking anybody with me. Do not call. Or you might say, I'm leaving the house when y'all get here. I'm off duty. Stay at home, mom. Leave the house alone. And this is why we had Mommy's Time Out. How many people came to Mommy's Time Out last November? Mommy's Time Out. Who came to Mommy's Time Out? There you go, Miss Jawanda. Self-care isn't selfish. I was just going to say it. Self-care isn't selfish, right? But how many people came to Mommy's Time Out? I know it's some people on here. Just say me. If you came to Mommy's Time Out, Miss Erica was there. Mommy was there. Miss Keena, my sissy, was there. Y'all, we spent a whole day talking about how to take a rest. And why is it so important for people to take a rest? Why do you think your job offers you days off? They give you sick days, but then they give you either vacation or personal time off, depending upon what they call it. That is because you are your best when you step back. And even though you're everything, do y'all know I had a mama to tell me, this lady, I could hear her wheezing and struggling to breathe. And I knew this woman had obstructive sleep apnea. I just knew it. She said, my doctors want me to go, but I can't leave my 3-year-old with his daddy because he'll cry all night. To go get a sleep study. I said, well, what happens if you go into congestive heart failure from your obstructive sleep apnea that goes unchecked, and then you eventually have cardiac arrest and die? Who are you going to be with then every night? I saw her again this week. She told me she had gone to get her test and that she was going to be getting her machine soon. So we have to put these things into perspective. People will use you up until they can't use you no more. Wasn't that a song about that? So you got to make sure that while you're pouring into everyone else, you're making sure that you get refilled, refueled, and rested. That is what the R is. Auntie Julia says it was there and it was big fun. And guess what? We are bringing Mommy's Time Out back. I'm trying to look for ways to make it even better, but y'all don't want to miss Mommy's Time Out. Let me tell y'all, oh my God. We talked about makeup. We talked about travel. We talked about sex, right? Because we ain't gonna act like mommies don't have sex. We talked about our closet. We talked about our wardrobe. We talked about travel. I can't remember if I said that. Of course, I talked about mental illness, but I had all my super friends to come in and we didn't talk about kids. That's what we did not talk about. We didn't talk about them kids. We were talking about everything that made us a woman. And so we had people there who didn't have kids. We had never birthed kids or didn't have anyone that called them mom. We had people whose children were old. I mean, it was a mix of us, and there was something there for everybody. We learned from Dr. Cree what we need to have in our pocketbooks at all times. Dr. Mia blessed us with some stuff to make our woman parts do what they need to do. Because we don't need to act like we're a woman. We might be somebody's mama, but we're still human. So we have to rest, rewind, rejuvenate. Let's see. Jawanda says we must bet on us, believe in ourselves. Absolutely. We've got to, and we've got to invest in us, right? So some people say, well, I didn't want to spend the money, but it was an investment. I looked at it and we had, I think, 10 speakers. And it works out to less than $10 a speaker. You would pay, I mean, how much did y'all spend to go see New Edition? and they just sang some songs that you'd heard before. I know me and my husband paid a pretty penny to go see them. And we flew out of state. And we took the family. That was quite an expensive concert. But that was what we wanted to do. And it was important to us to get away and to do that. So make sure that you're investing in yourself just like you do everyone else. Because when you're being everything to everyone else and neglecting yourself, it makes you grow old and bitter. Nobody want to be around nobody who's bitter because they're overworked and feel like they're not appreciated. If you don't think they like your cooking, stop cooking and see what happens. They're going to still eat. And it may be the very food that they're complaining about. All right, here we go. Mommy drinks. Oh, yes. We had some mimosas. Did we have some mimosas? Yes. It was big fun, says Auntie Julia. Kiamber says, I'm not going to miss it this time, girl. We had something for everybody, honey. You might even be able to give us a little presentation next time on some of that stuff that you do. We might have to check into that, girl. Miss Sherry Children says, absolutely. We have to rest ourselves or we are useless for our families and refill our emotional, mental, spiritual, and physical selves. Absolutely. And all of those people, and what we really focus on the Mommy's Time Out retreat was getting back to the things that we liked. The Friday before the retreat, and it was on a Saturday, the Friday before, I think I asked a question in my Focus on It Friday, something like, do we put our kids before ourselves, and is that okay? Is it okay to put yourself before your children? And it was actually shocking how many people said that is exactly what we should do. And I just want to encourage somebody on here on this Mother's Day weekend to know that, you know, you've got to really prioritize that situation. You've got God, you've got yourself, you've got your kids, and you've got your spouse. And those are four people, four different entities. God hopefully is always first. Always, always, always. But you've got to recognize that really those things are fluid and they change. Y'all know when a man gets a cold, it's like half dead, right? So sometimes you got to focus right there. If your kid got a project coming up, you got to focus right there. But you got to always make sure that despite whatever is going on, that you're really focusing on yourself. You got to keep yourself in mind. Otherwise, the ship goes down, because mama will stand behind daddy while he's steering. But you better believe we whispered in his ear, go left. See that rock up there? Don't hit it. And that's exhausting because we're always on alert. Always on alert. All right. Believe in ourselves, encourage ourselves, and take care of ourselves. I love that. Bet. Believe, encourage, and take care of ourselves. Bet on yourself. Talked about adult beverages. Yes, Auntie Julia. My mama sure enjoyed the trip. Honey, we took mama to see a new addition with us because we needed a babysitter, honey. And she's the babysitter extraordinaire. So she went with us on the trip, honey. We had to get a scooter and everything, but it was well worth it. We had a good time. All right, the last thing. Mothers motivate. Mothers are observant. Good mothers are teachers. Good mothers have heart. Good mothers are everything. And because they are everything, good mothers have to rest. And then the last thing is that with a good mother doing all the things we mentioned and so much more, we could never name it all. A good mother is going to see her child to success. The interesting thing about success, though, is that it's different things to different people. You know, I still quote to this day that my dad, who was a laborer and worked at a printing company, he cut paper for a living, right? He was very proud of that. Cut paper, but he was also an entrepreneur. I didn't even realize it at the time, but my dad was an entrepreneur. He owned a business where he sold Alabama souvenirs at football games, right? And so he owned a lot across from Legion Field, which is right here in town. He also would set up at the same lot at the University of Alabama in Tuscaloosa. And he did that all my life, right? And so I saw him going in to work, bad knees, picking up boxes, but he loved his job. He went there sweeping the floor and worked up because he said, I need a job. I got kids. I got a wife. I got a family. Worked all the way up to management. Loved his job. Loved hustling. I guess that's where I got that from, because my mama don't like working like that. But what he said to me, was, I just want you to be able to take care of yourself. So to my dad, I'm a success. Now, my mom, on the other hand, and I've talked about how my mom was a teenage mother times 2, how she missed out on the prom, how she missed out on all those things that little girls do. Her goal for me and my older brothers was that we finish high school without babies and that we get to enjoy all the things that teenagers do. So from my mother's perspective, I was a success. Now, I set my own goal to become a physician. Set it, worked towards it, educated parents, and then they motivated me. They observed. So every once in a while, when I would say I wanted to do something, go somewhere, talk like someone, right? They would get me back on track. They taught me all the ways, all the things I needed to know to get to where I need to be. Like I can remember my grandmother saying, out of a closed hand, nothing goes, but nothing comes. So if you know me, you know why I'm so giving, right? Grandma also said, it's who you know that gets you there and what you know that keeps you there, which is why I'm always making connections, okay? They had a heart of gold and they loved me. And you know that nobody could love like my mother could love, my daddy could love, my grandmother could love, all these people. They were literally everything. I can remember looking out in college on the dance line at Vanderbilt and seeing a sea of them. One time somebody called the hotel to say, I want to be connected to the Rudolph room. And they said, oh yeah, we know them. That's a family reunion. My family was my traveling. I had my own, band booster club. Okay, they came up from Birmingham every home game. They encouraged me to rest. And I saw them resting. And then I was able to reach my own success. Now, a good mother is going to do whatever it is to ensure that her own child has success. And again, success looks very different for every child. If you know that your child has ADHD and you're not getting them the proper help, you're not setting them up for success. Yes, it might feel good to you. And yes, you may feel good because you're not getting them treatment. But the ultimate question is, are you setting them up for success? We won't be around forever as mothers. It's sad to think about it, but that's true. So what we need to do is make sure that we're teaching them what it is that they need to know. And part of teaching them that is, child, you have a challenge, but you can do okay. You can be successful, and guess what? You can shine. Being in denial is not what a good mother does. We don't even have a D in the word mother for denial, because we've got to be true to ourselves and we've got to be true to our kids. All of them are different, but all of them are amazing. All of our kids are amazing. Even the ones that have gotten off on a bad foot, made some bad choices, hang with some people that make not so good choices. They're still our children and we still love them. But what we need to do is to make sure that everything we do when it comes to our children is at the forefront of making sure that they are successful. I know that y'all have that in you. And I am certainly looking forward to celebrating these successes with you and getting you to where it is that your kids need to be. Because I know that you can do it. I really do. So in closing, we're going to recap. Good mothers are motivators. They tell their children, you can do it. Hang in there. Don't give up. It's worth it. If you haven't told your child that and you see that they're having challenges, please make sure you do that today. That's what all the cool mothers are doing. Good mothers are observant. Sometimes it's not so good to talk. Just sit back and watch and listen. Observe. Who are they talking to? What are they saying? Look at the way their clothes are fitting. Are they wearing a different style clothes? Are they all black now when they used to wear colors? Are they wrinkled now when they used to iron? Make sure that you're observing your kids. You can pick up on all kinds of stuff just by observing stuff. And then you challenge them on it. Talk to them. The T in mothers is for being a teacher. setting by example, right? Our kids are far smarter in 2022 than they were in 1972 and 1982. It is no longer acceptable and good enough to just say, do it because I see it so. Or do what you see me do as I say and not as I do. Nope, they're watching you. And what you're doing is teaching them everything that they need to know about life. The H is for heart. Love on your children and make sure that they know you love them. Tell them many times a day. My mommy still leaves my house and I kiss her and we say, I love you. Because one day, one of y'all ain't going to be around to say it to the other one. And so that moment is going to be too late to say it. Mothers are everything. You all are amazing mothers. Those of you that are watching live, those of you that will watch later, those of you who have birthed a child, those of you who have adopted a child, those of you who have fostered a child, those of you who just tell somebody you can do it on the street, baby, I see you, keep going. You're mothering, and that role is so important. A good mother is rested. I don't care what anybody tells you. Don't you let anybody guilt you into not doing what it is that makes you happy. We are mothers, but we are still needed. We're still individuals. We still have our own likes, desires, wishes, and goals. And so make sure that while you are being a mother, and maybe the time is not right, but make sure that you go back and pick up those things that you always wanted to accomplish. If you always wanted to go to school and be a nurse, please go back. If you always wanted to go and learn how to swim, please go swim and make sure your kids know how to swim too. I'm guilty. I don't know how, but that is definitely on my list. If you always wanted a new house, but you just never could get away and get the job that was going to give it to you, when you get those kids to a point where you could go get a second job or change careers or whatever, go do that. Make sure that you do that for yourself. And then the last thing is that good mothers, when they do all these things, they can sit back and watch their kids soar, be successful, and of course, shine. I had a mom come to me and she said, I'm so sad because my kid is going off to school. And she said, I'm nervous about what's going to happen. And I said, you know, in parenting, we get 18 years to study for a test. We get 18 years to study for a test. And when that time comes that they finish high school, now you've studied, you've done the test, and you wait to get your test score back. And if you studied, if you've done the necessary preparations, you're going to get nothing less than an A. And so it is with life, with our kids. When they go off to school, your parenting is over. You've turned in the test. You just get to sit back and watch your A come back. Now, y'all say, y'all always say, well, we didn't know you had a book. So I'm going to give you my book. Miss Jessamine Woods, I ain't forgot you. Well, I did, but I'm going to get your book to you this weekend. But for everybody else who didn't know that I had a book, I'm going to show you my book right now. It's Shine, Understanding ADHD so your child can be a star. All right. So, of course, I like talking about ADHD. Shine, Understanding ADHD so your child can be a star. If you're like, well, I think my child has it. We didn't talk about it today, but there's several other videos here that you should check out where you can learn about what ADHD is. Y'all, ADHD, and I'm going to say this, it's a huge deal. It really is a big deal. And grades is not the best way to kind of monitor it. Your kids really don't feel good. They're hyperactive. They're isolated from their peers because nobody wants to be around them. They dread going to school. They grow up to start experimenting with drugs. They have car wrecks, motor vehicle accidents. 33% of them don't drop out of school, will drop out of school, high school, and only 5 to 10% will finish college. So if your child is searching for a level of success that you know you don't want their self-esteem hindered at an early age, go ahead and check into some form of treatment. Start with therapy if that makes you happy. But again, take care of yourself. And struggling with a kid doing homework is not self-care. I mean, you know, people say, well, I had my baby naturally. Is the baby alive? Are you alive? Because last I checked, we weren't giving out trophies. I had 3 C-sections. You can't tell me I'm any less of a mother than anybody else. So make sure you're doing what's necessary for yourself and for your children. Let's see what we got. Oh, Dr. Terralon is all the way in Africa. Dr. Terralon, what time is it there, girl? I'm always intrigued by that. Thank you for joining. Y'all, Dr. Terralon is amazing. She is in Maryland when she is not in Africa with her daughter, celebrating Mother's Day this weekend if they are not coming back. Miss Vakita says, happy Mother's Day. Mama says mothers are the very most important people in the world. Miss Shelley Stutter says, you helped me to truly understand that resting is so important. Taking even 5 minutes for yourself is top priority so that your kids can be taken better care of. Alicia says, cherish your mother. I surely miss mine. And let me tell you, losing one parent surely will wake you up and realize that you will lose both of them. And that's kind of a scary thing for me. So I make sure that I enjoy my mother, and I encourage you all to do the same. Mama says good information as always, and it is shared with love. It absolutely is. Miss Danielle London, thank you for being here. Miss Julia says, great thing about parenting is that moment when you realize that children can do great things for you. Later on, the role reversal. After you raise the children, then they try to raise you. Absolutely. And some of y'all mamas that are of a mature age, y'all are making awful children. So we're going to have to whip y'all because y'all are not doing right. Y'all wearing us out. And some of my friends, right, who waited to be like I am, we're trying to raise kids and raise parents. And we caught in that parenting sandwich where we were old when we started. And now our parents are older. So we got these babies. And we got these aging parents. But guess what? It is all a blessing because one day it will be the other way. Mr. Wanda says, happy Mother's Day to each of you. For those whose mothers have transitioned, I do pray for each of you, and I do as well. Miss Sadie says, happy Mother's Day, everyone. Family over everything. Y'all are so sweet. Auntie Eva says, happy Mother's Day. It's 6 p.m. over in Africa, Dr. Terralon says. So my goodness, they're about 5 hours ahead of us. That is awesome. So we thank you for listening in and watching. Dr. Terralon, be safe. Returning back home to the States, girl. Come on back. We need you over here because you are working with women who are transitioning out of whatever career they're in and going into something else. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Y'all know I love you. I said this was going to be quick. I was going to do 20 minutes, and here I am, y'all, coming up on an hour. But I just absolutely love y'all. And I want you to know, as I always do, that guess what? You are a good parent. So y'all know if you've been hanging out with me, I don't have to wait till Mother's Day to tell y'all this. I tell y'all all the time that you are good mothers. You have everything you need inside of you to parent the child you were given. And guess what? Sometimes what you need inside of you is the good sense to know that you need to get some help. I'm going to just let that sink in. We were given what we need to parent our kids. A conscious, some good education, and the need to know basis of when we need some help. And we got a whole series. We did that talk about when to ask for help, right? And some of us just need some help. I need some help right now. I want somebody to fold these clothes because I tell you all the time, I think 11 people live here. 6 of them we just don't know. They're in the basement. They only come up to put their clothes into the laundry room and they go back down. They must do it after we go to bed. I don't know. But there are 5 people in the house that I know of. 6 people, we wash their clothes too. Okay. So send help if you know how I can get rid of the 6 people that don't pay rent and don't show themselves. Okay. I'm going to get out of here. I truly love y'all. Miss Sandra, how are you? Oh, my goodness, Miss Sandra, you are the sweetest lady. Oh, my goodness, I miss those sweet potato casseroles. Oh, my goodness. If you cook some, drop them in the mail to me. I'll pay for shipping and handling and your ingredients. Let's see. Miss Chandra Tarver says happy Mother's Day. And thank you for watching. Thank you for always rocking with Dr. Boland. Dr. Brandy B, you hanging out with us and we appreciate you. Miss Barbara Young says, thanks. I've learned a lot. It's true. You are never too old to learn. And that is what it is all about over here. Y'all know if you want my book, www.shineadhdbook.shop. Please make sure you get the book. I need to come up with a different one now because, shoot, we got to keep teaching people. We got to keep teaching people. Miss Quatis McWilliams Garrett says, happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to everybody. We sure do appreciate you all. Make sure, don't be afraid if all you want to do is rest on Mother's Day to say, I just want to rest. Guess what? that's okay. It's your day, and however you want to celebrate it, it should be honored. If you don't want to wait in the line at Red Lobsters for 5 hours to get a piece of fish, have them swing you by Captain D's, please, and come on to the house and just kick your feet up, okay? Or have them to cook for you if they know how to do that. But anyway, I love y'all. I'm going to get out of here. I hope y'all have the happiest of Mother's Days. Y'all are some spectacular mothers. Every single one of you. I know you're great. I already know that you're great. And we appreciate you all. From one daughter to all these mothers, we appreciate you all for being the example, the teachers, the motivators, everything that we've needed when we needed it. Y'all stay tuned. Mommy's Time Out is coming back. We got some other stuff coming back. We're going to get busy this year. The world is opening up, but be careful wherever you go because people still sick and they don't tell you. Okay, so be careful out there in these streets. Enjoy yourself. I will see you all next week. Bye.